Hi, everybody. It's a wee bit of alchemy. I'm Rick Barrett. Welcome. Recently, I've been talking a lot about Sung, which is the releasing of extraneous muscular tension and relaxing into the intrinsic structure of your body, learning to depend on the intrinsic structure of your body, primarily the connective tissue system. And the connective tissue system includes traditionally what were called the sinews, but more accurately, you could say it's the tendons, ligaments, cartilage, and fascia. It's something that connects every cell in the body. And so the what it does is acts as an effective energy and communication system that brings about changes in your body lightning fast. So one of the things that I've been, I guess, going on about for a long time, that is we want to upgrade the wiring. We want to upgrade our wiring so that we're able to handle more energy and be able to use it effectively, circulate it and use it effectively. And the best way that I know to do that is to really get in communication with your connective tissue system. And this is something that we don't really think about much. We don't learn it in school, but it's something that is very dominant and prominent in the in Tai Chi Chuan and in a lot of the martial arts, and it extends beyond that, but a lot of people don't talk about it. And the lately been talking about using the energy gates, unlocking these places where the energy can get stuck in the arms and the legs primarily. And so we've been doing exercises on that. And we've also been doing some exercises using some light weights to enhance the connective tissue system. Now I want to roll that way back and get rid of that for the moment. That's perfectly desirable exercises to do. But I'd like to do something which is just using your basic form, your basic arms and legs to tune into your connective tissue system at a much higher level, and in so doing to actually amplify your energy field and circulate more fully, and so that you are able to experience what it's like to take your energy to that next level, so that you have that as a resource. You know that that is available to you should you want to go there. And the advantage of having more qi, according to Chinese medicine, more qi and circulate it well, and that gives you health and longevity. And so we want that, but it's also your effectiveness as a martial artist, and beyond that, to your effectiveness as a human being, to be able to move reliably and efficiently throughout the world and be able to handle basic stuff. One of the things, the observations that that I made recently, and I'd like to really point out today, is that there is a tendency to freeze the shoulder. And I'll explain what I mean by that. It's that whenever we load up the arm past a certain point where we can handle the load on that, there's a tendency to lock the shoulder in position so that you can just use your biceps and triceps to make the movements. And so that locking is happening at a pre-conscious level. And I don't know if it's a universal thing amongst all humans, but I would say that probably every student I've ever had has had that issue. That is, you tell them to lift up, and you can try it right now. If you press down on your arm, you push up with your arm against that resistance, you can feel the locking mechanism. That is, you're going to protect your shoulder, the muscles clamp down and say, okay, we're going to pivot from here, right? And they clamp down. And so they're blocking the energy flow when they do that. And I consider it just a survival mechanism, something that we do, something we learn to do probably as infants to tense up in order to be able to pick something up or to reach for something. We tend to just grab that just because we're not able to function with a whole body energetic connection at that point. And until you actually break it apart and shine the light of consciousness on this pre-conscious activity, it's probably going to remain unseen. And we do a lot of forms and things like that in Tai Chi to enable us to get away from that. But what I've found is that when you stress the system sufficiently, that goes out the window. And I particularly found this out in push hands, that whenever you're being pushed or you want to push, there's a tendency to lock up in order to make that happen. And what we're trying to do and what we've been focusing on the last few weeks is to open up that shoulder by connecting up to the back through the scapula. And the scapula is the shoulder blade. And so whenever we open up the shoulder blade we can then relax the shoulder because we're getting the support of the whole back, and then actually the rest of the body at that point. We've unlocked that gate. So unlock the shoulder gate, so we're able to then move freely from the shoulder and be able to do things with the arm. So what I've worked out is some very simple exercises that enable us to quietly, softly tune into that mechanism and be able to recognize when we are freezing that shoulder, because it is a pretty common thing amongst most of the people I've encountered. And so it's a good idea to be able to at least know that you have that arrow in your quiver, that you can, by opening up your back, your scapula, you're then able to enhance your soft power and be able to then reclaim that. The simply lifting, actually, I want to make a distinction here between lifting and carrying. These are just two words that I think kind of evoke the idea there. That is, I've used the idea of carrying a suitcase. If you're just letting it hang from your arm, you're using sung. You're using the passive support of your body to just let that to carry that suitcase. If, however, you try to lift the suitcase, there's a tendency to bunch up the shoulder. You're trying to, okay, this is more than I'm able to handle easily, so therefore I'm going to freeze the shoulder in order to make that happen. And then we're getting into that other condition there where we're using the localized muscular force in order to get the job done. So learning to carry is to be able to do that with your whole body, not just an external object, but that if you're lifting your arm, you can feel it if you just put your fingers on there and you press up without moving your arm, just feel yourself pressing up against that resistance. and that would be the lifting effect. And you can feel into your shoulder and notice what that does. Now, I want you just to carry that and just feel the fingers pressing down, but you're not lifting it. You're just supporting it with your arm. And so then we get this, that'd be more the idea of sung at that point. We're using the passive support of the system in order to get the job done. So the passive support of the system, it describes it, but it doesn't limit the fact that we can then use sung and be sung, even though we're expanding, we're carrying much heavier things than we could if we were lifting. So but just a way of thinking about how you're moving your body, and so that you're able to let go and then extend your connective to your connection through your shoulder into your back, into your scapula. So why don't we stand up and let's investigate this. All right, let's first get our 3 pillars set, our central equilibrium, energetic coherence, and unkink the hose. Get that first. So feel your 3 nails on the big toe line of each foot, your heel nail, the ball of the foot, and the big toe. And feel your weight settling more toward your medial line. The medial line of your body is down the center. And if your weight is on the outside of your foot, you're moving laterally. That's you're not supported quite as stably as whenever you're focused on the medial line. Then go into the heel nail. Knees are unlocked. And feel yourself sinking down. This is where we're getting sung. We're releasing and feeling that passive support of the body as we're kind of going into a dance with gravity at this point. We're not resisting gravity. You can try that, just push away, and that'd be more the lifting quality. You push away from the earth, and that's okay. That'd be more lifting, and then we sink down. We get sung. That's more carry, and just feel that softness there. Relax your lower back and allow your sacrum to drop. Now reach up to the crown of your head. And tuck in your chin, open up the jade pillow gate at the base of your skull. Continue to feel sung throughout your body, but very lightly, very gently reaching up with the crown and accessing the yang qi of the heavens. Your feet are accessing the yin qi of the earth. This opens the energy gates that accesses the big chi. And then reach with your elbows a little bit, rotate your forearms so the palms face backward. Point and reach with your index fingers and create that energetic coherence throughout the whole system. And feel into the subtle changes that are occurring in your body as you do that. We've opened up the jade pillow gate. We've opened up the shoulder gate. Now let's open up the qua. Just spiral down nice and soft, keeping your center along the medial line. Feel along the medial line of the foot. You could shift so that your weight is more substantial in one foot or the other. But either way, you're still just releasing down, feeling that sung. You feel in your hands and notice the sensations there, the tingling, pulsing, sense of fullness. And then we're going to activate our scapula. And here's a simple exercise to activate your scapula to bring some awareness to it. And the idea is you're going to reach up with your shoulder and open your back as you circle forward, and then come back and bring your shoulder blades together and back. And then take your other shoulder, reach up, circle with that. Feel your scapula opening up, feeling space between your shoulder blades. You do it, come back, bring your shoulder blades together, and then open them again. So we're opening and closing that gate, that scapula gate there. And now let's go the opposite direction. You're going back, you bring your shoulder blades together, and then forward, and then the other shoulder back and forward, and then so that we're isolating that scapula and letting that do the work. So bring it together and circle backward, and then relax. Okay, and now in a very simple exercise, but the simplicity of it allows us to really focus in on the small changes that are occurring in the connective tissue in our arms and back. So as you sink into the balls of your feet, you want to reach with your wrists and just come up just a little bit and feel that your fingers are hanging. So you're really relaxing your fingers. And now press down with your big toes and reach with your fingers and reach with your elbows and open your scapula as you do that. So we're connecting up the reaching of the fingers with reaching of the wrists, elbows, shoulders, scapula, and then fingers come down and relax. So we go into your heel and feel the yin there. So then we're going to go again and go into the ball and reach. Feel all those points coming out. Feel your back opening up. Reach with those fingers as you do that. So this is the yang. We're pressed down with the big toe. Feel that yang impulse. And then sink into your heels and relax and let the fingers drop. Now go to the balls and bring your wrist up a little higher and reach with the fingers. Open your back. Feel your reach, feel your elbows, your wrists. Feel that whole connection there. As you're opening your back, in the classics, they talk about rounding the back. And that's one of the bows here. We're feeling that as we extend outward, we are creating that connection, that energetic connection between the hands, and fingers drop and relax that. And sink into your heels. Yes. Ball to your feet. Reach with the fingers, open the back. Press down with the big toes. Feel that opening, that energetic connection. Good. Now, sink into your heels. Now lift the fingers and bring the hands down about 6 inches and bring the fingers down. Relax your hands. Go to the balls of your feet, lift your fingers, press down with the toes, open up your back, reach with the elbows, the shoulders, feel everything connecting. And sink into your heels and relax your hands. And bring it down a little lower. And go to the balls of your feet, raise the fingers, reach, open up your back, feel that connection, feel the energy being circulated as you do that. This is we're getting this yang circulation as we do that. And now we go to the yin and we bring the fingers down, relax. And raise the fingers, balls of the feet, press down with the toes, open your back, feel that connection there. So notice that as we're doing this, there's not a lot of strain happening at the shoulders as we're doing this. We are unfreezing the shoulder by opening up the scapula. And bring the hands down. And bring the hands down all the way. Sink into your heels. So by training the connective tissue system, by training the sinews, we move away from dependence on that frozen shoulder to do the work for us. We create an energy flow through that whole system. Just pause and just feel the energy circulating throughout your whole body. That's one of those things that we like to call an elevator exercise. It's like something you can do anytime, any place. You just kind of just go like that, and it's like, and nobody has to notice that you're doing your Tai Chi. Now we're going to go out to the side. Same idea. We're nice and easy so that we can really let go of the shoulder blade or the shoulders so that we can, that shoulder tension, so that we can trust the whole system to work. So here we go. We're going to come up just a little bit, reach with the wrist, and put the balls of your feet, reach with the fingers, and feel that connection all the way through your back, through your shoulder blades, and relax on your heels. Let all that relax. And then go to the balls of your feet. Reach with the fingers. Open. Feel that connection. And relax. Sink into your heels. Take it up a little higher. Just feel the yin support of the system. This is the carry. We're just carrying our arms. Very relaxed. Good. Go to the balls of feet and then reach with the fingers. Open up the back. Feel that energetic connection between your hands. And relax your hands, go into your heels. Into the balls of your feet. Reach with the fingers. Feel that connection. And relax. With your heels. With the balls of your feet, reach up with the fingers. Press down with the toes. Open, shoulders, back. And then bring the hands down. And then reach up with the fingers. Go to the balls. Press down with the toes. And let's come down. Reach up with the fingers. Balls your feet, toes. Feel that connection and then relax. And notice that you don't have to lift your arms very far to feel that connection. You can just come up with a few inches and reach. Just feel that chi flow, but you're also feeling at a substantial level your connective tissue system operating. And then reach your fingers, go to the balls, and then come down, go into your heels and relax. If we do it as a like the opening in the Tai Chi form, you go to the sink into your heels, relax, feel the yin connection throughout the whole system. Now go into the balls of your feet, reach with the wrists, your hands up, and then reach with the fingers, press down with the toes, open your back, reach. Feel that connection. Now sink into your heels, lift your fingers, reach down with your elbows, your wrists. And go into the balls of your feet and reach down with your fingers. Press down with the toes and feel that yang connection. And then sink into your heels and relax. And once more, feel the balls of your feet. Reach with your wrists. Fingers are relaxed. Feel the press down with the toes. Reach with the fingers. Open your back. Feel that connection. And then sink into your heels. Hands come down. Reach down with your elbows, your wrists. Into the balls, press down with the toes, reach down with the fingers. Open your back, feel that whole connection there, feel the connective tissue system throughout your whole body, buzzing. And then sink into your heels and relax. Now, let's take this and use as the foundation for Peng. Now, Peng, according to Yang Jwing Ming, the Peng is a made-up word by Taiji Chuan people, and it comes from the symbol for hand and the symbol of moon. And one moon indicates aloneness, and two moons is friendship or togetherness. And so we have this hand with two moons to indicate Peng. And Peng is where we have this connection that creates this expansive energy. So if we apply this idea here, we're going to now to get very sung. We're using our sung as our foundation for Peng, that expansive energy that is supported by your connective tissue system. So we go to the balls of the feet, reach with the wrists, and press down with the toes, and open. And now we're going to feel that your back opening, you're reaching with your elbows, reaching with your wrists, reaching with your fingers. And this is, we have the moons are like two crescent moons here with your arms. You have them rounded. So you create this structure, which is the two moons in opposition here. But they're working together in opposition. So they're in the part of the same system. And then we release that and settle that, bring that down. Feel the yin structure. Back to sung. And now we go to the balls. We reach with the wrists, reach with the elbows, open the back, feel your fingers there, feel that expansion there, all that, the two moons facing each other. In Taiji Chuan, we call we have 6 bows, 2 in the arms, 2 in the legs, and then the back and the chest. And the curve there is what gives us the structural integrity. And sink in and relax, and hands come down. And relax. And bring your hands all the way down. And so we apply this now to, say, a ward-off posture, which is where we express Peng Jin in a Taiji form. So if we go into a bow stance, put one foot in front, we set that, and this is where we see the bows here. We have this bow here provides the structure, my front leg. Then we have this bow with the 2 legs connected. So we have this that is the leg bows. The back is, instead of like this, we drop the sacrum, so there's a structure there that allows to open the back and also to open the quad whenever we drop we drop the sacrum. And then the chest is other bow there that allows us to create this. We're opening the chest, and that allows us to create space there. Then the arms but in this case, we're going to have our bows this way. There's one bow here, the ward-off bow, and then the other one is going to be down here. So you don't want the arm just hanging lifelessly, and this one just sort of hanging out. We want to do this. Okay, so we create these bows. And this is how we investigate the energies of these things. And I'm going, put in a caveat here that as you get more confident in your connective tissue system, in your sung and your pong and your ability to circulate your qi, then you get to be less obvious about this whole thing. It's good to start big and then just make it smaller, smaller, smaller as you become more adept at finding the energies and finding the chin, the internal power in these things. So if you say, yeah, but Master so-and-so, he doesn't look like that at all. He looks very quiet and small. And that's true, because what's happening there is Master so-and-so has internalized this so much that he doesn't need to express it in such gross movements. But for our purposes, we want to explore this by getting big, and then we can get smaller. So you get 1 foot, 1 leg, and then the other leg, we want to have this, so you don't want to collapse this too much. You want to have that some roundedness there in the crotch area. And so you relax your lower back so you get that your back has this, there's a bow idea there with that, and the chest is open, but it's also it's pulsing. Everything is pulsing. So we get this, we create let's just start here and just say, okay, reach with the elbow and reach with the wrist and pull down with the other hand. So there's a bow here. So now just reach with the fingers from this position. And then relax both wrists. And then reach with the fingers and just feel, open your back when you reach with the fingers. Reach with your elbows. And then, relax. And open. And relax. Okay. So then take it up a little higher and open. Reach. I'm going to do it facing you now so you can see that we're here like this. Palm of my hand is right over the center of my chest, and I'm relaxing, and then open. Feeling that connection through my arm, through my back. So connecting one arm to the other, and then relax. And then open. And relax. And then open. And then bring that down. Hands come step back. And just pause a moment and just relax into the yin support there. The sung. And so that pulsing between the yang and the yin, it enables us to reach for something more and then return to something more familiar, and then reach and then back to something more familiar. So let's go to the other side. Look at your bow stance and feel the support of the bows in your legs. And drop your sacrum, relax your lower back, and bring your arm up just a little bit, and then open. Just feel that connection there. Feel the pong as you open that and relax, and then feel the pong. Yeah. A little more, expand a little more. Breathe in. Feel that expansion. Feel the bows. And then exhale. Relax. And then feel that Peng Jin as the two moons are facing each other. And relax. And open. Yeah. Now let's make it smaller, but with the same energy. So just open, but this time don't really force anything, just nice and relaxed. And then relax. And then open. Feel the connection between your shoulder blades without necessarily stretching them that much, and then relax. And open. And relax. Now let's do it without moving. Just feel that you're alternating between the yin and the yang, between the sung and the pong. Now feel them both together. Feel the potentiality, unexpressed potentiality of both. And turn, step in. And step in. Take a deep breath. And the balls open. And exhale. And disappear the chi. Richard.
Well, um, it seems like a long time ago, but it was only yesterday uh, that we learned that we needed to reach, not push. And tonight we've learned that we need to carry, not lift. So those two dimensions cover just about everything.
I
And
wish, but
and the image for me is very powerful. It,
mm,
it's powerful like the reach don't push
mm,
finally dawned on me. Um, and now the carry don't lift is it's relying upon your structure, not your power or not your muscular power. It's letting your structure do the work. Um, and in some ways, one of the things that we were talking with you about George Hoffman's work at the World Tai Chi Day. One of the things that he was telling his students was to get out of the way. Um, and that's kind of sticking with me too.
mm.
Carry, don't lift, reach, don't push, get out of the way.
Eloquently stated. Beautiful.
Good stuff.
Cool. Anybody else? Jonathan.
I was coincidentally, I was going to ask you to do almost exactly what you just did. Because in doing the form this week, I realized, if I've got 10 minutes, I should spend 3 minutes on the first move, which this basically is after the intro. It's almost as if there's like 2 setups, then start doing the Tai Chi. Because it's like you do this slow enough, and you can do it for 5-10 minutes. All those gates that you've been exploring come into play, and really so much else as well. I mean, it's like the first thing you have us doing is rooting and sung and there. But it's like then the second is like, okay, now for a posture check before we begin doing all the fancy moves. And because I'm discovering all kinds of things. One is the relation between my shoulders and my heels. I find that if they're together, that's kind of better. You know, the way Tai Chi keeps a whole torso going. We don't kind of twist or bend it so much. It's almost as if that connection, so that even if I were to lean forward, somehow my shoulders and my heels would still somehow be aligned. I don't know. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, sure. No,
And it's like, and then lowering the sacrum and all of that all contributes to that, and everything opens the back. And it's such a simple, well, it's simple, except I haven't been doing it all my life. You know, here I am at 72, realizing that could be a real key is keeping my shoulders and my heels aligned. So anyway, and I only discovered that doing this opening, for about 10 minutes.
It's
Beautiful.
never too late, Jonathan.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. Yes.
Good. Everybody else? Lynn.
That was fantastic. I really, particularly, I was reminded of William, which this will resonate with you, saying, go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep, wake up, right? And, but it made sense to me this time, where it didn't always really make sense to me when William said it.
Literalist.
But what I particularly found was when we were doing the bow stance, and if I let my really each time sort of re-released my lower back or thought down with the sacrum, it just opened everything and really made all of the bows alive. Like I was just feeling all of my bows in this really connected and powerful way. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. That was great. Cool. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just want to say how I've finding that space in the middle of the back between the shoulder blades is not always easy, but this really makes it work. I mean, it really facilitates that really well.
Great. Thank you. Sharon.
I was having a lot of discomfort between my shoulder blades when I put them forward. So I just kept thinking I wasn't getting it. And then when we went into the bow stance, I got a lot of popping in my lower back. So something was releasing. And I don't know if that was because I had an alignment that was proper or not. I don't know.
Was the discomfort still there after the popping?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have a lot of mobility in my scapula. I'm not locked up at all.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's part of the reason. I when I go
Hard to
forward, I
say.
just feel like I'm overstretched.
That might have been it. You might have been going too forcefully.
Okay.
So you're reaching, you don't, one thing to do it big, just so you know what you're doing, and then kind of let it go and make it a little smaller. You can ease up on it once you know the road there. So you can, okay, that's how it's done. So it sounds like it maybe just overdid it a little bit, because it shouldn't, particularly if you're already mobile in your scapula, it shouldn't, just being able to reach and open your back a little bit shouldn't shouldn't have a negative effect.
Thank you.
Lynn?
Darren, if I may, I find that sometimes I get when I'm focusing on that place between the shoulder blades, I somehow end up tensing, even though I don't feel like I'm tensing anything, or something feels tense or uncomfortable, right? You know, and I sympathize with that moment where you think you're you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then sometimes it doesn't seem to be working. Today I was having that too when we started out, and for me, what kind of worked was instead of thinking about opening, I thought again about down. Apparently I needed things to go down today, but I thought about just letting the center of my back, without thinking about the scapula per se, go down, and that helped me with the discomfort. Yeah.
Cool.
And just for whatever 2 cents worth, I find whenever I find tension creeping in during some exercise with a point, with a focus, if I try less hard, the tension goes away. If I ease up on my effort, then the tension goes away.
Where's the effort? Here?
Yeah, well, yeah, here, but it ends up out here somewhere, you know. And then but I just found it reminding myself, you know, the don't try thing. It's really effective for me.
Get out of your own way.
Get out of the way.
Richard said,
Get out of
the way. Great. Okay. Thank you all so much. It's been great again. A lot of fun. Thank you. Thank you, Maria.
Great
Thank you,
class.
Maria.
Thank you, Maria.
I love you guys.
You too.
Love you all.
Bye. Love you.
Thank you.